G'day from Rootstech. This is Jill Ball, and I'm very excited to have one of my great idols in the interview room with me here. DearMyrtle is the queen of American geneablogging.
I forgot my crown. I think I loaned it to Footnote Maven.
That's DearMyrtle.com.
Yes.
DearMyrtle's also known as her real name, which is?
Pat Richley-Ericson.
So
yeah.
why the DearMyrtle?
Well, years ago I wanted a nom de plume.
I
so
understand.
that I didn't have to worry about grammar and if I made a typo and stuff like that there.
Okay.
And that was my grandma's name, Grandma Myrtle. I have two grandmas, of course, but that's the one we visited. She taught me to make jam, and she taught me to play solitaire with these old-fashioned things called cards.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have computers in those days.
We call it patience, and I played with my grandmother.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
so
we used to play poker for pennies.
All right. She didn't teach me poker.
Oh, she was a naughty grandma.
But my grandmother sipped sherry on the side, so we had a little naughty grandma.
Yeah. Now, you have this website, DearMyrtle.com. What do you do under that umbrella?
Well, a couple of things. I do my blog.
Yeah, I read your blog.
But I've noticed that I do a lot of things on Facebook that never get into my blog.
Yep.
Things that I read and share, and I'm sharing them on Facebook, and I'm sharing them over in Google+.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm getting more interaction over there. Are you noticing that?
Yeah, I think someone once said that Google Plus is for intelligent genealogists.
Intelligent.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people in my Google Plus circle, more contacts than I've got anywhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I've migrated over there in the last 6 weeks.
Why?
Because I wanted to switch from Google to Google Hangouts on air, which automatically record. It's free service. And so I moved my Mondays with Mert, which is a daytime show. What time is it for you all?
Your Mondays with Mert, that's not a good time. The one you have at 9 p.m. is a great time for us.
Oh, okay.
So what's on at 9 p.m.?
That's when I do a focus thing in the evening.
Yeah.
So like on Mondays with Mert in the morning for me, which is I think a completely different day for you.
Yes, it is.
We just talk about what comes across my desk. I'm prepared with 3 to 5 topics, and we usually get to the second one, and then there's so much interaction.
So what is this Google Hangouts on air? I've experienced one with you, and I've watched you do one, which was fantastic.
And you cut the cake.
Yeah, I cut the cake for Thomas's birthday. But so it's basically online education.
Absolutely. And the thing about Mondays with Mert is it's different from going to your local genealogy society where there's a lecture and then maybe 10 minutes of questions and answers. The whole thing is a discussion. And I don't know everything, but Russ May and somebody else.
So Russ? Who's Russ?
Russ Worthington, my cousin. And he does a very good job. We have 10 people on the panel who are viewing it and participating live. You can see them moving around and getting up to get a paper or a book.
Cup of coffee, tea.
But Google Hangouts on air also provide, during the live broadcast, thousands of people can watch on the YouTube channel, DearMyrtle. You've done that. I mean, they did a mini rock concert once where 40,000 people were watching it live, not the recorded later. So it's a very different format. But Russ, we've trained folks, we've said, please, we want your comments, put them back in our community on Google+, and then Russ watches that, and he'll say, there's a comment from the community, and so, and we had a breakthrough with Hessian soldiers.
I was there.
Yes, you were
there. That was
there.
Heather Rojo and Barry Klein.
Yes, and right across the, and then later that day they did the research, and they were able to help the people that were over there in the community that had said they had Hessians. They went back to the community and said, what's your guy's name? They went to the shelf at the Family History Library, got their records. So it's very interactive over there.
It's wonderful. For people in Australia, some people in Australia live miles away from anywhere. We're more isolated than the United States. Your Hangouts on air are just wonderful. I don't know if people understand they're free. All you need is a Google account.
Which is like a Gmail account. You just activate it.
And you've got help resources on your site that explain how to connect, what to do.
It's not hard at all. Remember when email was hard?
Oh.
And then webinars were hard?
Yeah. And so why have you switched from the webinar platform to Hangouts on Air?
Well, I didn't want to pay $99 a month American or US anymore for only 100 spots.
Yeah.
Because I'm typically getting on the pre-registration. You don't pre-register for Hangout on Air. You just look at my community and I give you the link. I create it and you click. You look at Genia Webinar's calendar to know when.
Tell us about Genia Webinar's calendar as well. Okay. I'm so sorry, I'm jumping all over the shop.
And I know, and I want to keep this short so you can get it up on YouTube without having to split it. But the finishing that thought of a Google Hangout on Air. On webinars, if I had 1,800 or 2,500 people pre-registering and I only have positions for 100, I'd have to take on a corporate sponsor to open up the room to 1,000. I'm still disappointing all those other people. So I was looking for another platform that was affordable, and Google had the answer for me. And then to your Genia Webinars calendar. It's a calendar that I started, but every webinar host, Gen Chat host on Twitter, every Hangout on Air person, I've given them rights to go into the calendar, add their events, because I can't keep up with all this.
I know.
It's big.
It's mad. It's crazy, but you're doing so much for the community.
Thank you.
And I just want my Australian readers, or listeners, or viewers actually, if they don't know DearMyrtle, to have a look at DearMyrtle.com and see what she does for the genealogy community. Follow her blog. I think that's blog/
Just, if all they do is just go to DearMyrtle, they'll see it.
They'll find you.
All right.
It's so exciting to have met you in person. Thank you very much for speaking with me.
Thank you. Good friend.